talk to Alicia first.
How about this whole senior revelation?
It almost makes me wish that the Cloy never stopped rampaging across the galaxy back in the day. At least the friggin' Sinu would have been gone.
Well, me and the new girl took one out, so that's a start.
Terran's great, by the way. We definitely need to have a talk with her about that hair, though. Ugh.
Scanning.
Bezeres. Colorful planet is sighted outside observation deck. A welcome sight in the dark reaches of space. Sending out a drone reveals that the rivers of this planet on closer examinations are made up entirely of soda pop. Confirming the scans, it seems that Bezeres was some kind of terraforming experiment gone wrong. The water sources, including lakes and rivers, even the oceans, are made up of the same chemical composition, with different flavors. Fierce debate rages amongst your crew on whether or not this was some kind of corporate stunt gone wrong, or perhaps a mad scientist's failed experiment. There are no signs of life, not even microbes on the planet, and there's no mention of it anywhere on the official star charts. I wonder, what kind of soda pop is that?
Anomaly found.
This planet has striking features and immediately visible from space. Its super atmosphere, there is a massive field of transparent geometric debris, which realign into a clear pattern after being disturbed. This field encompasses almost the entire planet. The debris is observed to be capable of self-repair and even disrupt electronics that are within close proximity. Though an unknown type of protective technology, the single ocean has seemingly endless depths. Though accurate measurements are difficult, as the measured readings seem to fluctuate constantly. Further scans reveal that what was previously thought as land masses are in fact huge organisms that float along the planet. There's large, big organisms that float along, no more complex than coral, sometimes large enough to be a nucleus of continents. Rivers of fresh water float across the creatures, a waste product to filter feeding flora and fauna congregate around these rivers. The dominant species seems to be kind of crustacean. They're somewhat advanced, and it has been noted that they are nowhere near the level of interesting. Yeah, this planet is pretty cool. It looks like... alright. That's a zoot using. Alright.
Anomaly found.
Space butterfly. A starship drifted in void, its crew missing entirely. Whatever fate befell these explorers remain a mystery. All that we can decipher from the alien logs is that the last entry of Captain Cox. I'm the last one. The last one to see its beauty. It calls to me. I answer. Okay. He's the last one, Captain Cox.
Scanning.
I wonder who Captain Cox is. Must be an important character. Manubis was once home to the Menubians, a warlike and jackal humanoid hybrid race. They fell victim to a previous mysterious planet-wide epidemic that wiped every single one of them out before they could achieve spaceflight. By the time Ord explorers arrived on the planet, all that remained were their magnificent limestone sculptures. Lily has made a quite fascinating discovery. Laminate lists of the remains seem to indicate that the Menubians race shares nearly identical DNA to that of the Nikif. Close enough to ascertain that they are in fact long-distant cousins, one of another. How the Menubians never got to meet their relatives is a mystery indeed. The Nikif refused to acknowledge these findings and have vehemently denied all genetic links between the two races, even if the evidence is irrefutable. Lily advises not pressing the matter further.
Yes.
ready. Taking the shot.
That's easy enough. There we go. It was a lot easier with Lily.
Well done, Captain.
Unique business position exists on this planet where fossilized historic reptilian is mined from the ocean's floor for deposit for faucet. Okay. Some interpret got the idea that ancient they be excellent face cream. Did I write that right? The product flies off the shelves faster than mining operations can keep up. Despite the protests of environmentalists due to decreased levels of pollution in the planet's previously pristine oceans, enjoys free reign over the mining operation with large enough militia fleet in orbit to stave off the Dread fleet. He attempts to expand the mining crews on a weekly basis. It is unlikely the Imperial will take any action, however, as to believe their positively skin is totally worth it. Alright.
Yeah! Looks like our security detail just arrived, guys. Yeah! Check it out. We're promoting our new album, Saint Dangler. It's a concept album about the existential torment and anguish I went through when I almost died from a massive dried dope deposit clinging to the rim of my trap flapper. This is the first time we've ever released an entirely shit-focused album, so the fan backlash has been pretty rough. A bunch of them want us to retire, so they hired some goons to keep us from playing the show. We need you to kill them all.
Ahoy, Captain! Oh, nice one, love. Oi, watch it! Ow! Watch it! Nice one, love.
Come on, come here. Haha, gotcha. Oh shit, there's more of them. There's more of them.
That wasn't all bad.
Come here. Look at those. Shit, this bag is big. More of them? Oh god, there's not. Easy enough.
Ooh, can't wait to unwind with a pint. Time for a proper kiss up.
Whoa, ho, ho! You did good, Solar. Actually, I've got an idea for a new song. One that will finally prove to our fans that our new shit style can be good. Shut fire down, my butt!
Next location. There's the new, there's a root pod. Should I go like this? No, should I go start by CISO or should I go end by Neo? Let's start by this side. So start by news and go chose. And then go like this. Oh wait, no, this is chose. Oh, that's fine.
Scanning.
Familiar story in the galaxy, the colonization mission gone awry. Nobody knows what happened to this ship, only that it bears ancient Cloy markings, usually the secretive Cloy, tow any derelicts back to Taliesin, to avoid anybody picking up their secretive tech. But the fact they've left this craft, presumably once full of colonists, to just drift, raises more questions than answers. Did the Cloy simply lose track of one of their colony ships? What happened to the thousands on board, and why was it never retrieved? Asia helps to decode some of the technology found amidst the Cloy wreckage, leading to Demi being very pleased with the haul.
Anomaly found.
The icy rock, nicknamed the Cold Shoulder by the pirates who frequent it, was an extrasolar capture. The strange rock formation in crystalline caverns are not seen anywhere else in the sector. While it's not suitable for extended habitation, a few outposts will pockmark its surface, harboring all kinds of space scum who seek respite from Imperial patrols. Any missions in this sector?
Scanning.
Yes, there's. Legend states that the ancient Nikif goddess Serval, also known as the Inquisitor, was one of the duelists in Prodigium. She soon found that there were no more worthy opponents for herself. Out of boredom, she decided to take a nap and created a star that gave life to her offspring. It is said Serval is still sealed up somewhere on this ancient world, and left only with the following clue. When the new challenger is born, the bell shall toll for all. Until today, the bell is still silent, despite massive Nikki-backed efforts to find the last resting place of Serval on Pard. Nothing has been recovered so far. The search continues as surveyors and expensive drones are deployed to the ocean world. Most surely.
Scanning.
Crystal water is considered a sweet luxury on Imperium. Words, but is actually very poisonous when filtered. The filtering process involves using local plant life found on the planet's few actual islands to digest the water and then stimulating them to release it filtered. As they filter the water, the plants release fumes from the poison which can cause hallucinations and act as aphrodisiacs in some species, Nikif in particular, understanding that reaping profits whilst getting at the same time is pretty good deal. Most Rakuna water enterprises are manned by Nikif. Interesting. After discovery and subsequent looting of its treasures, this planet was bought and transformed by a rich entrepreneur named Bast. The biological processes of the local flora produced a bioproduct, pheromones, that loosened the inhibitions of his race. the Negev. The long-lost civilizations of the Stone Age architecture has been preserved. The beaches are pristine. Bass makes sure to hire plenty of solars and has turned the planet into a nymph-Negev tourist trap. The Imperium turns a blind eye, no doubt, helped in part by Bass' seemingly endless pockets.
Scanning.
The gigantic pink planet that could easily be mistaken for a gas giant, Lavenia, is an ocean planet comprised of several small continents that are essentially massive islands. The world was once much cooler, but a greenhouse effect melted the polar ice caps several millennia ago, resulting in ocean levels rising. The tree-registered sentient species on the planet enjoy a subtropical climate almost every year round. They are not fully evolved yet for technological proficiency, and as such, contact is prohibited under Imperial law. The real draw of the planet are several gigantic Leviathan creatures lurking in its deepest water. Wait, is this Subnautica? 6 has been identified so far by planet-side researchers, each terrifying, unique in their evolution. They seem to compete. Wait, is this the planet from Subnautica? Has anyone here played Subnautica before? It's the game where you like crash land in an ocean planet basically. This sounds like the planet from Subnautica of the Leviathans and stuff.
Ahoy, Captain!
We gotta fight some of these pirates here.
Wait for the fire!
Oh, those are the robots. Okay, we're gonna fight the robots. Come on, robots.
Look me, that wasn't half bad. Too right. Oi, watch it!
There we go, got it.
I expected nothing less.
Scanning.
Proximity to the local star, miraculous reactions during formation has yielded a planet of oceans of molten gold. There's lots of gold here. This gold pearl of stars was what discovered and quickly settled by a small company turning out statues of Imperium races. As it appears, most of the designs of their statues were stolen from a famous sculptor who chases all forms of perfection. Has halted operation around the planet, a token militia force against pirate threats. Alright.
Do you sense it, comrade? The scent of destiny and poon is in the air. The moment we will discover the holiest of holes draws near. The FAP to end all FAPs. The finest fuel a hungry boner could ever ask for. I seek the nudes of Empress Celestina.
Oh god, of Celestina, really?
You doubt the legitimacy of our quest? Oh, ye of little faith. They were originally obtained by my brother's mother's cousin's mistress's xenogynecologist's uncle, who is a guard at the Holy Imperium Palace. You see, a seamstress was recently in charge of creating Celestina's new robes. In order to ensure the highest possible quality, every last measurement of Celestina's body was needed. While the guard in question was in charge of watching the door, he managed to take a couple of creep shots when no one was looking. Now that you know what's at stake, I need you to get down there. And for the sake of every pervert in Prodigium, get us those nudes!
Got it.
This revolution stuff's pretty easy. That's just too fucking good.
Finally, I can barely contain my excitement. Hand over the data pad. Damn, they're not here. Looks like we did the original collector a favor. These guys were planning to rob and murder him, and then sell the nudes to another buyer. I'll need more time to do some research on these rogues and find their vault. I'll be in touch once the final location of our monumental score is revealed.
Scanning.
This recently discovered derelict planet drifts aimlessly throughout space. Scans suggest there is a rather large amount of silver on it, most of it being deep below the surface of the ice resting off the bottom of the ocean. Further scans also detect life in said ocean, though with no known current efforts to explore under this ice. No one is quite sure whether it is intelligent or not. Scans have also picked up glowing shapes under the thick layers of ice, though with the dim light of the planet, it's extremely hard to see anything. Oh, that's lava broomstick too, yeah.
Yes, hon. You'll go a long way.
May the veil guide us. Be well.
There we go. Mission accomplished. Almost everyone died, but we made it through.
All day.
Anomaly found.
According to Black Market star charts, this lush alpine world was first settled by intrepid solar colonists who were inspired by its resemblance to a country from old Earth. The country full of large trees that secreted a valuable sap, plentiful fruit planet, was a peaceful place to reside. The colonists wished to emulate this on Kilods. Their hubris was short-lived. After the fall of New Vegas, the Imperium claimed this world for its own, and the enclave of cabin-sprinkled solar settlements quenched their fireplaces for the last time, soon abandoning Keldals forever. The Imperial logging operation now presides over the planet, shipping valuable and luxurious wooden trinkets back to Bezeres. Security detail in this area, protecting a lumber operation. Getting past them will not be easy.
Focused, Terra. Stay focused. Charge it up. Ooh, pretty explosion. Charge it up. Whoa!
Anomaly found.
From orbit, this planet looks to have a large cloud over that was fluorescent in nature. Do not provide much light. They are extremely dense and conceal the surface. Exploration may be dangerous as the probes dive into the big gilling clouds. They are lit up. Only one makes it through unscathed, revealing that the surface of this planet is a dense forest of nocturnal trees that barely see daylight. There's a massive cave complex with a gigantic mouth that is the size of a continent, an impact that could only be caused by a seriously powerful asteroid. In the cave lives from primitive insectoid natural life, when most of it's docile, if not downright friendly. Lily surmises that the caves go far deeper than anyone can imagine. Exploration of the surface itself commences, and there are plentiful resources to be found, but vicious creatures lurk in the shadows. These creatures are small, somewhat sensitive to light, but they're all part of a cruel fight for survival of supremacy. 30 credits. Tenebris. There's something here.
Anomaly found.
We're up next to this derelict hulk. Demi begins to grow agitated. She advises caution before proceeding with a probe scan that quickly reveals the contents of this airy behemoth. According to one of the remaining terminals, the ship's control system was written in an absolute programming language, not used for almost a millennia. Afterward, forwarding the code to Fortune for examination, she showed that the ship was a victim of a malicious attack which disrupted the navigation system, leading to the death of the crew. Remnants of the malicious code can still be found, and Fortune begrudgingly admits that it is masterful work of yet undiscovered alien race. The fact that such a proud ship was laid low by a few lines of code fills you with dread, and Demi is immediately ordered to update her antiviral subscription. Oh god, there's a lot of planets here on Rupo. What's up here? I need to scan it first.
Anomaly found.
It's the quest. Okay, we'll do the other ones first then.
Scanning.
The sands of this unremarkable planet hold an interesting secret. Solar archaeologists recently uncovered evidence of a technocratic civilization that expanded rapidly over the planet. They appear to have caused some kind of planet-wide cataclysm from an over-reliance on a type of underground cable, which corrupted the soil, causing an extinction event. Inhabitants of the planet turned on each other in vain to fight an ever-decreasing amount of supplies. Now the once expansive world of technological brilliance is covered in swathes of silver sand. Upon closer inspection, the sand appears to be a fine particle remnants of their once glorious buildings. So everything's basically everything's been vaporized.
Scanning.
The planet was once a gleaming green gem in the stars, a verdant world ruled over by their green beauty, often depicted in ancient statues, which is probably what attracted the hordes of explorers arriving from the Imperial worlds. Eager to get a glimpse at this strange being, the explorers discovered the planet was rich in minerals, and soon enough Imperial corporations. Rich as a millennia passed, and the natural resources of the planet dwindled, its beauty fading. Then one day, in retaliation, the vengeful deity cursed the planet, creating an environmental disaster on an epic scale, turning the once green planet into a pale, pink dust ball. The corporate stooges all perished in the disaster, never to return, and the goddess finally had her peace. Nowadays, Tijunia is nothing more than a backwater outlaw planet. A few select biodomes act as the main spaceport of the traders and archaeologists who seek arcane trinkets. The old temple to the ancient goddess is the main attraction. Relics and trinkets are excavated and ferried back to the museums across the Imperium. This has led some to prophesize warnings about the vengeful goddess, once again descending upon a planet. But the new generation of explorers dismissed the tales of the Emerald Beauty as mere fiction.
Anomaly found.
Some molten planet of blistering heat that is only habitable around the poles to nomadic draconic humanoids. Piracy hiring themselves out as a necessity. Theories exist as to whether the third party intervened. Alright, well, let's fight them.
Stay focused, Terra. Stay focused. Charge it up. Shields are gone. So hot. Charge it up. That was so cool. Charge it up. Oh, that was so cool. Charge it up. Pretty explosions. Whoa. Charge it up. Oh. Howie. Charge it up. Oh. Keep it together, Terran. Charge it up. Ooh, pretty explosion. Charge it up. Keep it together, Terran. Charge it up. Oh, charge it up. Charge it up. Good guys win again.
Anomaly found.
Panamu is a world we once inhabited but is now a ball of molten, irradiated rock ruined by a nuclear fusion accident. The reactor was originally built to sustain the energy needs of an entire system and was contained by a swarm of shielding plates. This swarm moved around the outer edge of the reactor and helped stabilize it. That is until some inebriated engineer got the bright idea to try and remove one of the throttles to the fuel chamber which burned up most of the planet in the process. The reactor was built to harness the core of the planet, and its lost control fractured the tectonic plating. In some places, there are active zones where the planet is scorching hot, which tends to be near the fissures created by the reaction, and inactive, or passive zones, where the reaction doesn't have much of an effect. Small pockets of civilization remain in these safe zones, desperately trying to salvage the situation, somehow. In Demi's opinion, this planet is a ticking time bomb. Don't tell them that, though.
Scanning.
The atmospheric conditions of Epiphany makes for some truly stunning sunsets and sunrises. The picturesque splash of the sky and the orange. Blue and orange colors that dance across this desert landscape inspire poets and artists to travel far and wide to visit and be promptly slaughtered by the savage bandits. The problem of piracy on Epiphany dates back to nearly 700 years. Due to its distance from Imperial, patrols are few and far between. The nearest systems harboring intelligent life happen to be jet-controlled. Needless to say, the trust would probably sponsor the pirates rather than try to eradicate them. So the constant tug-of-war between nomadic and colonists and bloodthirsty bandits continues. Custom-made rovers and jeeps skitter across the dunes, clashing with the hover bikes and giant 16-wheel trucks. The sound of gunfire is the perfect complement.
Good boy. Taking the shot. Good boy. Jolly good job.
Merciless has stumbled upon what seems to be an old manufacturing plant. Tethered to the orbit of the star, old rusty conveyor belts and dilapidated antiquated machinery line, vast interiors of the station. There are massive crew quarters, meant for housing hundreds of thousands of workers. It appears that there was very little actual automation, and whatever stellar empire constructed the station preferred manual labor over synthetic labor. Closer examination reveals that the crew quarters are actually called cell blocks of some kind. There's a large office on top floor, which seems to have belonged to some kind of warden figure. Clearly the workers were not here of their own volition, and the station may have been some form of penal colony. There are some energy couplings that can be repurposed by Dalek, but otherwise the technology used by these aliens is too outdated to be of use.
I know you tried to help me once, but your generosity has not filled this bottomless chasm of darkness that was once known as my soul. I am Jerry, and I still want to die. Bleakness is all that I know. In the time now gone, I did not have to endure such sorrow. I once celebrated better days when I had something resembling a life of my own, like you.
Interesting.
I was once a gamer. I found serenity in a title whose name I have not uttered.
Wait,
in
you
a
were
long
once a
time.
wait.
It was lost upon the wind, like my dignity.
Wait, Jerry was once a gamer? Okay.
The game was Dickatana.
Wait, you mean wait. Wait, he means Dekatana, right? This game? I've heard about it. Yeah, that is a Daikatana reference. Alright, next.
I was raised in poverty, just one more street-dwelling mega-block kid. One day, I found a copy of Dickatana in our local dump. The pretentious, nonsensical plot, controls so shitty they were basically the boss of the game. The poorly programmed everything. It made me believe, hey, some absolute tool out there actually created this piece of shit. This is the best they could do. Perhaps I'm not as much of a fuck-up as I think. There is hope for me in this life. The rest of my friends felt the same way. We stayed up all night playing it together, laughing until we cried every time someone landed a rocket and the almost non-existent physics launched our characters' gibs outward at 90-degree angles. Alas, those days are gone now. Like me, most of my old acquaintances have had their willpower robbed by corporate overlords, and their youthful exuberance extinguished by a flock of harpies that they call their mates. Much like them, I can never regain my lost youth now. Every part of my being only exists to painfully wither and rot into oblivion, and I do not wish to see it through. Please leave me be.
Aw, Jerry.
Good boy. Yes. Fire away. Good boy. Jolly good job.
You found me a copy of Dick Katana? If I were physically capable of showing any kind of emotion close to joy, I would do so now.
Aw, Jerry.
Your thoughtfulness is not lost upon me, Captain. I give my thanks.
Anomaly found.
Unknown, huh? This volcanic ash-strewn world spawned the crimson-skinned humanoids of its namesake many eons ago, adapting to the harsh climate of this tectonically unstable planet was seen as a badge of honor by inhabitants. The defining feature of Venera was the imposing Machikaka, one of the largest active volcanoes in the galaxy. Machikaka's eruption was the beginning of the end of the planet, as the superheated core became too unstable to sustain life any longer. Cassidora and her scientists knew of the impending apocalypse, but they neglected to save the world. The planet is now almost completely abandoned, as the population centers were long ago torn asunder by the cataclysmic upheaval, pyroclasmic flows, and earthquakes. Only a few Venerans made it off world safely before the cataclysmic event. That's Venera, the planet that exploded. Okay, what's this?
Scanning.
Dwarf? Venera's moon, which was sacred to them, it appeared in the night sky, signaled the beginning of the evening phase of their non-stop fast. Occasionally it would create a bright black eclipse. This occasion was known as the Dadak Fourth, or the Black Moon, because of the... What the fuck else did you expect to be called? The Dag Fourth was considered a time of luck and fortune to the Veneran, and they made it a priority to conceive during this period so their offspring would be blessed. It also caused Venerans to measure their age using two systems, the actual length of time and the amount of black moons. Those with the highest black moon count and comparatively lowest age were considered to be holy. It could be expected to have them by complete strangers. What? What a society. Oh yeah.
Stay focused, Terrell. Stay focused. Charge it up! That was so cool! Keep it together, Terrell. Charge it up!
Come on, come here, come here. Come here.
So hot! Charge it up!
There we go.
Oh. Charge it up!
Oh shit, I'm surrounded.
Explosion!
Let's keep this place.
Charge it up! Pretty explosion! Keep it together, Tad. Charge it up!
Come on. Destroy it, destroy it, destroy it. More of them again. Got it.
Good guys, I'm getting
Level
even
18,
better.
good. Level up. Making progress. What's this big planet over here?
Scanning.
Translated roughly to Rosebud that dilates, this furnace world was visible from Venera at certain points during the year. According to their legend, it was a good omen, and in appearance signified the beginning of a fruitful season. Mating season. A few solitary research station wander slowly around it, studying the charred remains of the Scarlet Humanoid's homeworld. There's the solar system of Voon. And after we have Miak to do, and then we have these over here too as well. Let's do Miak next. 5 planets here.
Okay. Scanning.
A stalwart pioneer in the Galactic fashion scene for over 500 years. Two Cakes Boutique is a must-stop for fashionista. It is run by the brilliant designer Two Cakes, who first skyrocketed to fame when she challenged and defeated the Cloy in a fashion event on their homeworld, becoming the first Xeno to do so. The store is extremely well guarded by the automatons and private security forces, not that anybody would dare attack Two Cakes at her own boutique. Reclusive designer is currently not in the shop, no doubt, away from headlining a new fashion line, but her secretary would be more than happy to take her call. Space combat, alright.
Ahoy, Captain!
expected nothing less.
Scanning.
Several centuries ago, a wealthy core industrialist and the greatest minds on Taliesin left their home planet behind to forge a new, better society among the stars. With them traveled an underclass of various enslaved laborers, primed to enact the plans of their betters. Despite opposition from the Cloy Supreme Council, they set off to the far reaches of the Kraken Nebula. The ship is all that remains of that brave endeavor. Longs indicate that not long after the ship disengaged the hyperdrive, cracks began to show amongst the elite caste. A typical Cloy fashion. Egos clashed on a deadly scale. The medical officer murdered the head of the engineering, the navigator poisoned. The captain and the first mate killed everyone else. The slaves broke free and took care of the rest. Unfortunately, the ship was finished off by the pirates and stripped of most of the valuables. Not the finest moment in the Cloy exploration history, though.
Ahoy, Captain!
I expected nothing less.
Driving anchor in the orbit of Calary, the crew immediately notices a large sandstorm sweeping the surface of this golden planet. Patches of water can be seen around the poles. The planet seems to be around 98% arid. The OA team dispatched to the Oasis areas reports back with findings of plentiful fauna concentrated around these ever-precious sources of water. The most interesting finding, however, has to be the discovery of a race of slime girls that eke out a peaceful existence under the green fawns of the edges of water. These slimes hit off rather well with the OA team. They create a trade in a type of magical crystal. I've gifted one such specimen to you as a sign of goodwill. After quarantining it at the lab, Lily asserts that it is a type of sapphire unique to this planet. Due to Imperial law, the slime girls must be reported as indigenous discovery before they could be taken off world, but on Lily's advice, you decided best they were left alone and unreported. Nobody needs to meddle in the affairs of these peaceful creatures. The prospect of possible slime in the future is hard to ignore.
Anomaly found.
A truly astonishing monument to old-school solar sensibilities. The Nucleus Acuba moon is a massive passenger liner designed to ferry solars to tourist worlds. It was one of the only 2 models built at the height of the solar boom. Bankrolled by a corporation, this privately operated enterprise was host to some of the greatest, wildest parties to have ever faced a galaxy. Gambling and any other. Okay. Was it saying the journey was wilder than the destination? Now the stories of great pleasures flowed throughout. Its grand halls have become all but legend. The Nucleus Acuba moon stands as a sad shrine to that glorious past of what was lost. Coordinates proved by Fortune's contact proved accurate, and the ship appears to have survived. A mini crew in its engine. The lone survivors of the cabin were not forthcoming with any information about what happened. Rather cheekily, they asked if you had some, and then promptly went back. Seems they are surfing. Alright, dude, we got some bio at least. So let's go here.
Anomaly found.
This was a prime example of an old adage, the lesser of 2 evils. In the past, this tundra-like planet was ruled by the tyrannical alien dictator who oppressed his people. After its discovery and subsequent refusal to accept the Senate law, the Imperium took steps to remove the dictator from power. The conflict was short-lived, and the denizens of Emisos now look up to the Empress as a savior figure. So entrenched in their propaganda and ideology that it would be next to impossible to flip this planet from Imperial rule. Emisos is now a heaven for those who respect in peace and prosperity among all. Due to this, and the Emisonians have a powerful military, forced to keep those that do wrong away. That also means you. Let me just tell you to fuck off, but not before Terran manages to sneak aboard one of their cruisers and loot the captain's private stash. Hey, we got some credits. Next system. Which one did I do? Oh, that was Mayak, I think, right? Or Voon? I don't remember. Was it Voon or Mayak? Yeah, it was Miak. We did Miak, so it's the next one. Next one is Castus.
Scanning.
This unique planet was dubbed an enchanted forest by Futrin, and it teeming with plentiful flora and strange creatures of all shapes. One particular species noticed a female with long ears and bushy tail. Despite being a newly introduced species, the ecosystem they have already spread like a plague across the planet. Speculation is rife as to who brought the so-called bunny girls into Lumiere, but the most prevalent theories are corporate sabotage and genetic experiment. Imperial officials are not pleased about the rampant race spreading across a potentially unexploited planet. Needs to get their asses about anything. Alright. I mean, there's plenty of those in Final Fantasy XIV. If you ever play Final Fantasy XIV, there's a lot of bunnies. There's bunnies everywhere in Final Fantasy XIV. It's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy how many bunnies there are in Final Fantasy XIV.
Scanning.
Arcandus. Arcadius is a notorious planet shrouded in legend. The lack of sunlight it receives due to atmospheric anomalies and orbital discrepancies has made its native inhabitants evolve in a unique way. The primitive medieval society dwells in well-insulated castles, has voracious appetites. Observation by Lydia has noted that this long-lived race of pearl-skinned, sun-averse creatures often engage in massive part of the noble ascension ritual. Although spacefaring visitors are rare to Arcadius, their breasted creatures are often willing to trade with them, especially if it involves... Yeah, interesting. Where else should we go? What is this? That looks kinda tiny.
Scanning.
Eden's Hive. Founded by the co-ruled Queen Yon of the Sun, Queen Bella of the Moon. This planet is a beautiful sanctuary for women who want to follow their heart and find romance within their own gender. Keep your population at efficient levels through artificial insemination, which also guarantees no males are born. The planet is an agriculture powerhouse, and the honey they produce in particular is among one of the most sought out condiments in the galaxy. Every year on the first day of spring, they hold an event called the Maiden's Fair, where women of 18 who have yet to find a life partner can participate in social activities. It consists of dancing, singing, and culinary artistry. The popular couple of the night will receive the temporary title of the Sun and the Moon, and will be given a private audience with the current ruling queen. It's tradition that every new couple is bestowed a bridal title that is derived from their combined personalities. So that's Eden's Hive. Visiting the Maiden Fair and participating in activities. Alright, next one. What's this one over here?
Anomaly found.
You remember reading from an old pamphlet that females on Terrell outnumbered the males 9 to 1, the result of an entire population descending from bioengineered embryos. The natives are extremely little and beautiful and alien. Legend has it that thousands of years ago, unmanned AI ships from some long extinct race arrived to begin terraforming, and they carried with them DNA bank of plants and animals to kickstart the native flora. Everything that lives and breathes on Tori, Taurus excluded, came over as decidated seeds of frozen eggs. The act that carry out the procedures has long been purged by the Imperial.
Mark the target. Fire away.
Comes with a free satisfaction.
Good boy.
Going in. Satisfaction.
I'm here. Fire away.
Ejection imminent.
Yes. taking the shot.
Satisfaction is available for a sex. Things orifice containing. More.
Ready. Very well. Say, jolly good job. Evolution is a wonderful thing. Evolution.
Alright, next one. There's one over here and there's one down there, right?
Anomaly
That's
found.
the quest. Let's go to the other one first. This one here.
Scanning.
The joystick. It is a joystick. The joystick was a famous portable cruiser where anyone and anything could get the shape of the ship resemble a huge alien joystick. Its captain, eccentric alien known as Captain Spanky, was known far and wide for his massive throbbing green. The envy of cocked senators everywhere, manhunt was soon organized for his provocative creature, and he spent almost 2 decades evading Imperial bounty hunters and wriggling about patrols. Each time he did so, his legend grew, and soon an army of fangirls flocked to his side. At a certain point, the males of a certain faction had enough of all the females, neglecting their duties because of Captain Spanky, and they organized a trap for the fleet. Though the attack was mainly a diversion, there was a famous Horde hacker group that managed to patch a deadly virus through the firewalls, resulting in normal deaths of Spanky and the crew. According to Imperial records, the ship should be scrapped, yet here it is. here. Blow it up.
Ooh, can't wait to unwind with a pint. The Dread Queen rises! Time for a proper kiss-up!
At first glance, it appears the entire planet is covered by a huge storm system. However, analysis of the clouds leads to a shocking conclusion. It's pollution. This is a heavily industrialized world. Has given up most of its land to mass-growing smog. Social status determined by how high up you live in the living areas, with the poorest at the bottom and the richest at the top. Long destroying industrial fog can be escaped. Almost anything can be produced by the factories for the right place. Fabricandy. So it's a big giant factory. Alright.
I smell the blood of solar scum. I have slaughtered hundreds in battle, and I live only for the thrill of hearing my enemies beg for their... you know what, bro, I'm sorry, but I just can't do this right now. Problem is, I've been having a little performance anxiety. Spork cannot do battle unless his ram is out of tension and ready to splatter and batter. But lately, I just kind of lose it before the battle even begins. I must procure some Vishagra to help me regain my battle lust. But the problem is, a spork cock is so massive that it requires 20 times the dose of puny solar like you would need to keep the buff going. That's why you are gonna hijack an entire shipment of little blue pills for me. It's due to be transported through this area any minute now. Yes! Yes! Intercept that ship! Bring me my dong drugs, and then I may once again bathe in the blood of my enemies!
Guess we're gonna use Hila here.
Ooh, nice cockpit. The
I feel the power! The boner fuel courses through my veins! Yes! Yes! I shall eviscerate many in your honor today, Solar!
Scanning.
Unfortunately, due to this quirky jungle world, seemingly uninhabited and still in its primal state, hothouse grasses and volcanic activity are mainstays on Loderic, but this ideal chance for the evolution of life to blossom. You are mistaken in your previous assertion, as it seems life has already blossomed on Loderic. Your away team finds humongous skeletons of giant lizards, some winged caught in the foliage in the jungle's undertow. It appears that an extinction event took place several decades ago, and all life was extinguished, bar one. Your assertions were wrong again. There was no extinction event on Loderic. These magnificent apex predators were hunted to extinction by an allied squadron of poachers. No, so someone hunted down all the animals on Loderic. What is this thing? Does this interpret? A rare sight to be sure. A languageless ship with fake registration. Maroon in orbit, sensing an opportunity for salvage, not to be missed. The Mare Celeste consciously sidles up alongside it. The emergency lights appear to be off, and dimly confirms that the power has long since gone out. A short-range transponder repeats a message, warning anyone and everyone to stay away. It is then that you notice the other side of the hull has a large-sized hole in it. Something got out of the ship, something big. It appears that the containment protocol failed. So something escaped the ship. Interesting. What is this thing?
Anomaly found.
Your radar indicates that there is some kind of unusual signal emitting from this icicle rock. According to star charts, it is uninhabited. As you land, fortune fills you in on the planet's history. Apparently, a civilization lived here many millennia ago, but as the star faded, the temperatures plummeted. They were buried in blizzards, kilometers under snow. No archaeological expedition would be insane enough to attempt to dig here. So silent and buried they will remain for now. A natural cave in the northern mountain range is the source of a strange signal. In its depths lies a smooth black crystal. Unlike any of you have seen before, it hums with a strange dissonance, but otherwise possessed no remarkable properties, you see. Attempts to take it back are completely fruitless. It's made out of a material so dense that it would be impossible to move. Lily takes some samples. Commercial life under ice flows, fallible biological data. Yep, good. Where's the other planet? There's another one somewhere here, right? Oh, up there. I see.
Scanning.
On approach, enemy notes that Terrell is the name of not only the planet itself, but also the orbital city station found drifting its heavy atmosphere. As it comes into view, you wonder what feat of engineering is required to build something like this. Both planet and station are ruled by the unscrupulous Rills, the so-called Queen of Terralis and corporate head of the gas mining operations upon the planet's surface. Rich in hallucinogenic chemicals, the atmosphere is steadily pumped to feed a jewel like aerostats to fill the skyline, which in turn feed L's industry and luxurious hedonist lifestyle. Decadence rule, Terrell a pleasure city, soaked in neon lights, glittering wealth, and non-stop nightlife. The Imperium turns a blind eye to L's generous bribes. The jewels of Terrell have not gone unnoticed to the Dread Fleet, as Imperial patrols are called elsewhere. The opportunist pirates descend like a swarm of locusts. Thanks for finding the pirates in here.
This one's gonna hurt. Core.
annoying. Come here. Take this. Gotcha. Oh shit, there's more of them up here. Grab the laser. Big laser. Big laser. Big lasers. We'll try again. That was just a fluke. I did not die there. Those laser dudes have heard. Jeez. Oh, those are missiles. Missiles. Need to cover again. Cover, cover, cover. Any asteroids? As long as they can't shoot me, they can't hurt me. Is that the last one? Yes. That one was challenging.
This revolution stuff's pretty easy.
Okay, I got all of them in Weem. Alright, time to go to the next one. After Weem, we go to Key.
Anomaly found.
Falk, security warning. We have detected a security breach of your spaceship's computer network. Spyware virus has been infected. So that we can connect to. Okay. Let's go.
Up for some genocide? Direct me. Good job, kid. You'll go a long way. Yes, hun? Good job, kid. You'll go a long way. Direct me.
All day. I won bad.
Scanning.
This remote world consists mainly of icy deserts. However, the grains of sand are actually particles of ice that are moved across the vast desert expanse by the strong winds. It snows little to none on the planet due to the near non-existent precipitation. The planet also has sparse oasis areas that are the product of underground magma caverns, heating the surface of the planet enough to provide meager amounts of H2O. The planet is often used by pirates and other less desperate. Let's explore this one then.
Claws ready. ready?
Scanning.
State-of-the-art defense platforms surround this unworkable rock of a planet. Derelict notes that the platforms are pointed in the wrong way. A hushed silence falls across the bridge as your crew realizes these defense systems were designed to prevent something from escaping the planet, rather than protect it from invaders. Further research by Fortune uncovers that this planet was previously a playground for the rich and famous. Records of the planet stop at a certain point, and she suspects they were scrubbed, and the planet was renamed entirely. The New Dawn. I see. That's a bright sun. That sun is bright. Yeah, it's like pulsating. That's pretty cool.
Scanning.
Earth like in size and atmospheric pressure to surface temperature is otherwise really fucking cold. Further hindering colonization is the distinct lack of water, which has been replaced with hydrogen fluoride. In simpler spacefaring phrasing, Calary is a bitterly cold, chemically corrosive hellscape. Lily won't even dare to use extrophiles. And this is a space combat mission? Alright. Let's upgrade. They're all level 18. Okay, let's use Terran then.
Stay focused, Terra. Stay focused. Howie! Charge it up! Charge it up! Uh-oh. Shields are gone. Charge it up! Whoa! Charge it up! So hot! Charge it up, that was so cool! Keep it together, Terran. Charge it up! Take a sexy thought, take a sexy thought. Oh no, I said thought! Pretty explosions! Shields are gone! Charge it up! Oh! Charge it up! Enemy penetration! Take a sexy thought, take a sexy thought. Whoa! Charge it up! Oh! Charge it up!
There we go.
Good guys win again. You're the good guys, right?
One more planet. Where is it? Down here? Oh, there it is.
Scanning.
Following the near post-apocalyptic war that devastated Unistama. Survivors retreated to the other fraction. Could foresee the impending destruction. The monks of creation, their preparation and unique talents for quelling disputes helped stabilize the war-weary population. Knowing in advance the destruction of the planet would indoctrinate any remaining who had the capacity to join them by learning their way of life. Those who could not or would not were sent away to the irradiated wasteland wilds. Those who were cast away lived as scavengers and grew to resent the monks. Eventually a second war broke out as the scavengers raided the Order of Enclave. This too was foreseen, and a few monks had begun to transcend their physical form. They were able to influence the elementals on their world and wield them against their foes. They did so with fury, summoning tornadoes and other psychic horrors to rip them apart. Whose reliance on technology became their downfall. It has been clearly a millennium since the war, and all the monks have attained enlightened form. Strangely, the Imperium leaves them alone, no doubt on orders from the Covenant of Nine. So is the Covenant of Nine related to the Unistama? I guess we'll know one day. Camera has 4 planets, one right here.
Scanning.
This abandoned Imperium colony was sucked through bone drive shortly after it was settled. The dead civilization that initially attracted researchers also drew the attention of companies looking for more raw resources. By the time regulation could catch up with them, it was too late. None of the settlements are visible from space, however, leaving patterns of blue and white sands at least redeem the view from orbit.
Anomaly found.
One of the few planets of protogism to currently a planet-wide city with a single natural ring, joined by an orbital ring with hanging highways. Arcologies make up most of the boroughs, keeping the air clean and oxygen-rich. The local fashion is heavily solar-influenced, centered around tight bodysuits and one-piece swimsuits. The indigenous fauna, some of which are titanic in size due to the high oxygen atmospheres and preferential living conditions, only survive in elaborate zoos. The rings of this planet are known as the spider's web. To the naked eye, the rings are practically invisible, but they have shredded more than a few potential visitors. The planet is practically in float. Alright, fair enough. Yeah, this is interesting.
Anomaly found.
Records show that S.N. Wang was exploring a region of space, colloquially known as the Phallic Veil, when cosmic radiation spiked and their men received a minor mutation allowing longer than 4 hours. Recruitable ships crippled the vessel and captured the crew. Oh man, captured an unconfirmed alien artifact. Alright, let's check this place out. I guess we'll do Lily for this.
I'm here.
May the veil guide us.
taking the shot. Mark the target. Fire away. Well done, Captain.
Where's the next one? Okay, I've got that one. It should be somewhere here, right? Those two. Oh wait, I think it's this one that I did not scan.
Anomaly found.
Okay. Did I do it? Yeah, we already completed this. I just didn't scan it. Alright. CISO.
Anomaly found.
The water world of Java is a secluded jewel of a planet home to a strange race of sentient fish. The race that discovered the fish tubes deduced that they worship the rings around the planet, believing that each ring represented a goddess. Legend states that their scientists studying the creature tried to get it all too friendly, which resulted in a violent reaction from the natives. Ever since that moment, the fish dudes prefer to keep the deeps, distrust all these visitors. This was around 3 million ago, so clearly these fish dudes can harbor a grudge. The planet has no natural resources of them, and photographers, hoping to catch a glimpse of the elusive fish dudes, often fall prey to the pirates and smugglers. His excellent fishing skills come in handy. Nice. Aaron went to look for fish.
Scanning.
A small dusty planet that was once subject to intense heating and slow cooling. This process has somehow made immense amount of sapphires, present alongside the unusual minerals. Strangely, sapphires are not valued as much as protodium as they would be back on Earth, so exploitation has been limited. A couple of solar operations has begun cropping up, but they quickly fell prey to smugglers and Dread Fleet associates. Empty burnout prefab houses are now a common sight around the otherwise hot, sparse environment. Despite fond oases offering a lecturing gift of shade and solace, they also mark your settlement as very easy targets for those not averse to a bit of piracy. Needless to say, without active Imperial patrol in the system, colonization will be near impossible.
Scanning.
Asmodea. Once a cream-filled bastion. Alright, cream-filled bastion proud against all blocking agents of evil. Phasmodia is now a ruin of its former order. Famous gazillions self-proclaimed extraordinaire named Zax Inabut set up his den of depravity to be heavily inspired by New Vegas in both design and ideology, to cater to every whim and desire in the galaxy. Slot machines jingle non-stop and drinks flow like sweet nectar. Phasmodia became the go-to spot for entertainment in this system. Truckers and pirates found safe haven beyond these hollowed doors, lured in by the very gorgeous aliens. Willing to satisfy for a price, of course. For a while, Phasmodia made massive profits for Zex, who protected this investment with fierce resolve. After the fall of New Vegas, however, Zex became gravely ill. Rumors of poison were abound, but nobody really knows the truth. After his death, Imperial forces quickly swooped in. Perfect interact. Let's take it to Terra, I guess.
Focused, Terra, then stay focused. Keep it together, Terra. That was so cool! Charge it up! Owie! So hot! Owie! Charge it up! Think on sexy thoughts. Oh no, I said thoughts! Pretty slow, charge it up! That was so cool! Think of sexy thoughts. Keep it together, Terran. Charge it up.
Charge it up.
Charge it up. Whoa! That was so cool! Charge it up. Deep breath, deep breath. So hot. Charge it up. Oh! Charge it up.
Got it.
Good guys win again. All right.
Another level up. It's Phasmodia. There's a planet here.
Scanning.
Shade. Okay, where's the... Oh, there's the... What the heck is this?
Anomaly found.
After initial mining boom and a brief period of prosperity, corrupt officials began to systematically siphon Imperium funds away from infrastructure into their own accounts. The resources soon ran out, as did the Imperium's patient, and they soon slapped severe sanctions on Krovsky's government. Breath was sponsorship, opportunities, citizens began a mass exodus from the planet, searching for greener pastures elsewhere. A huge pirate raid a few decades ago took with it most of the remaining valuables and sounded the death knell for any meaningful recovery. Now only a few small colonies remain, governed by despotic warlords who will stop at nothing to seize what little scraps remain. Travel is not advised due to increased Red Fleet activity. Let's see what quest this is in Jade. Jade is a form of super Terra planet, ripe for supporting life of all kinds. This has made it a haven for all kinds of races from across Prodigium, but truly set Jade apart is that one of the few remaining neutral planets within Kraken space, the local government formed a tide of wealthy merchant queens, has refuted all attempts of an integration with the Imperium, albeit diplomatically. All kinds of religions and races are welcome in Jade, as long as they contribute to the economy. Minor tensions have arisen in the past, but most of these were diffused by the draft tongues of Jade's absolute politicians. The Imperium knows they have more to gain by embracing Jade's independence and keeping them around as valuable trading partners. This has resulted in a kind of protectorate status for the planet in exchange for the flow of goods. The merchant queens can enjoy the privilege of round-the-clock protection from the Imperium's Fourth Fleet. Everyone wins.
Ah, I see our final mercenary has arrived to assist in the extermination. Gross of Cran, at your service. I'm the owner of this soon-to-be complete resort. Do you see the beauty of this forlorn world? I broke ground here, hoping to create one of my finest resorts yet. Top-of-the-line luxury, no expenses spared, my boy. Unfortunately, we found it infested with numerous breeding grounds for the vile pest known as the Smenschkin. Their off-putting penchant for dry-humping anything in sight has created a rather prominent problem for my guests, as they will erode the infrastructure at an alarming rate by coating it in their rapidly expelled semen. What do you mean you don't understand why we want to exterminate them? Cleanup costs aside, this cannot persist. They are invasive pests, not boner bros, as you so eloquently put it. If they are not eliminated, both this planet and my ability to exploit it for profit will be gravely threatened. Look, just help me get rid of this nest, and you will be rewarded handsomely, both with credits and the promise of even more lucrative work when we find their main breeding grounds. Fine. If you wish to give your life protecting such disgusting life forms, I will simply have to order my mercenaries to tear you apart.
Yes. Taking the shot. Don't mess with my babies. Mark the target. Fire away. Ready? Fire away. Well done, Captain.
Okay. I'm sorry. Please, old sport, just don't kill me. I'll even abandon the resort so you can loot whatever you want. I swear, I'll never harm a jizzy hair on a Sminchkin's head again.
Let's go to Cujo next.
Scanning.
Soganath. Space Combat. Soganath has a unique honor of being recently exiled from the Imperial. Yes, not even those dickheads want to do anything to do with these guys. And even it is upon realizing that their star was dying, began to cram more and more people around the warmest part of their sprawling cities. The mighty steam-focused nuclear reactors. As temperatures gotten more extreme, the only place to survive was inside the reactor. Unfortunately, there was nowhere near enough room for everyone, so the aristocratic elite decided to lock themselves in, leaving over 98% of the remaining population to freeze on their deaths in the blizzard outside. Empress Celestina immediately decreed the survivors of Soganath to be exiled from the Imperial. Interestingly, scans of the reactors show that there's still survivors' ability down there. They likely do not have long left, as the reactor is on its last legs.
Ahoy, Captain! Fuck me! That wasn't all bad.
Come over here. Get over here. Come on. god, there's more. You're kidding me. Shield down, get cover. Try to get cover. Oh.
Ahoy, Captain! Hey, right! Oh, nice one, love.
There we go.
I expected nothing less.
Anomaly found.
So, okay, let's do that. That's the quest. Let's check the other ones first.
Scanning.
The stunning pink sunsets on this planet are not the only attractions in the tropical world. The indigenous population are a race of 6 dark-skinned humanoids who have the unique ability to breed with almost any other species. They are also unusually aggressive towards males and pride their prominent envoys. Identify ends when trying to reason with them. For this reason, Calary is a planet best left alone. It contains no precious minerals without warranting a full-scale invasion.
Anomaly found.
period generally be considered a backwater world. No one in their right mind would visit, as it's full of marshes, swamps, mires, bogs, and large insects. Storms rages across the surface on an almost constant basis. And due to this world's high oxygen, forests can rage wildly for up to weeks at a time. The harsh conditions of Period have forced the inhabitants of this world to band together into mutual beneficial symbiotic relationships. Period is only known to the galaxy at wide due to an anthropological significance that this ecosystem presents. Researchers from far and wide come here to study the various flora. The most prominent of being a race of 7-foot-tall reptilian humanoids. And their tough scales coupled with their ordinarily high pain tolerance. Really, you could spend a lifetime here, but unfortunately you can't stop because you kind of have to save the galaxy and all that.
Scanning.
This research vessel appears to have been abandoned for an unknown reason and has been cast adrift for quite some time. It seems that the smugglers have not stumbled upon it yet, for most systems remain intact and operational, albeit at emergency settings. The reactor has been idle for what could be centuries. Oddly enough, everything inside the ship seems to be positioned upside down and clearly designed for a species quite smaller than solars. Was the ship designed to be upside down, or is it just awkwardly floating that way? Which side is up in space on the way? Unfortunately, there's nobody aboard. Terrefis. The planet is inhabited by a lavender-skinned species, strangely worship only two gods, the world over. Zelma and Zir, the gods the people claim are deities of choice and power of the mind. Early readings indicate that there are, in fact, low levels of afros, naturally occurring in the pollen carried in the high wind trade winds. The water itself is a deep violet, covering around 80% of the planet. This haze of purple, the indigenous species populating the planet have not been given an official name, but ad hoc scans, black net data compiled by Fortune state that they are humanoid with gelatinous internal organs. They currently too primitive for space flight, but past experience would indicate that Imperial missionaries will soon be knocking on doors of the Terrafinists to initiate first contact.
Hi, mister! Are you here to help Love deliver her cookies? Aw, shucks! That's so swell! This place used to be super duper safe, but a bunch of weird guys who tried to seem good started making trouble in my neighborhood. It's a scout's honor to always deliver her cookies no matter what. Things have been so sad and scary around here lately. These people need a reason to smile. Wouldn't you smile if someone brought you a delicious box of cookies? I need a big, strong hero to help me get my cookies past the bad guys. Can you be my hero, mister? Good. Now follow me. I've got a bunch of meanies for you to handle.
Come on. This is the last one, right? I hope that's the last one. Good, that was the last one.
All day!
Thanks, mister. Now I can safely get inside my customer's house. You did such a good job. I'll call you next time I need to free, okay? Bye-bye.
Alright, done. I think I got all the side quests done now. I think I completed all of Kraken. All the side quests should be done. Oh, everything's done now. Let's talk to Demi. Demi seems to have something to say. Oh,
You make any progress locating Apex Industries?
No, and further research would require significant resources. In comparison to my minor technical issues, the revolution is far more important.
They don't seem so minor to me. Besides, what if getting this sword is important to the revolution?
I did not consider that. Oh no. But if that is true, then my distraction is considerably more problematic. Captain, I understand this may seem like an extreme solution, but perhaps we should consider resetting my matrix.
Are you bloody serious? You want me to wipe you?
My purpose is to keep this ship and crew safe. The longer my programming remains unstable, the more of a liability I will become. I am certain that a reset will eliminate all irregularities.
Demi, we don't eliminate irregularities around here. We find a way to make them work. You said you need to find Apex Industries for that to happen, so take all the time you need. That's an order.
Yes, sir. However, I must ask, Captain, why do you persist with this?
Come again? What do you mean?
Your actions towards me are most illogical. I am clearly malfunctioning. I know it. You should simply reset me, as Tybalt did. You could even rewrite my code so I will serve you in any way you desire. There is no guarantee finding my manufacturers will fix my current programming issues. Why would you sacrifice so much time just to repair me?
Demi, you don't turn your back on your best mate when they're down. You help them, whatever it takes. Resetting you will destroy everything we have together, and I'm not letting that go without a fight. Isn't this what you want?
Yes, that is what I want. But I was made to believe that free will is not something an AI should have, especially one as powerful as me.
Then whoever told you that is a fucking idiot. Why do you think we're even fighting this revolution in the first place? I couldn't live with myself if I didn't give you the same choice I ask you to risk your life for every day.
But I am not an organic like you. I do not have a life to risk. I am simply a platform, meant to serve my owner to the best of my ability. Why do you choose to believe otherwise?
You know I'm not the sharpest cunt in the bucket, but Demi, I'm defo sure you're more than what you think you are.
Captain,
I'm giving you the choice. Do you want to find this place?
Yes, I am certain.
That's all I need to hear.
I am able to access and utilize every spoken language in Prodigium within milliseconds. But despite my extensive efforts, I am unable to effectively communicate the gratitude I feel in this moment. I will find Apex Industries, Captain. We will do this together.
New here now. Anything new in the hangar bay? I think we do have all the... Yeah, we have all the upgrades for the ship. Laboratory. Lily has some new cutscenes.
I've got a question about Nucleus anatomy.
Are you wondering how it's possible for Terran to produce more ejaculate in an hour than you've seen in your entire life? The females of most species are capable of what we commonly refer to as squirting. A solar like me, for example, could potentially run dry after a particularly rigorous series of orgasms. However, Nykith have the ability to draw in moisture through their epidermis, similar to amphibians. That could potentially give them a nearly limitless supply. That's all depending on the environment in which said squirting takes place, of course. It's why they prefer planets with high humidity.
You lost me at rigorous series of orgasms.
I'll tell you what, Captain. Send Taran to my lab, and I'll investigate this matter personally.
How's business at the pub these days?
That new lass doesn't drink much, so we're way overstocked on booze.
Believe me, Taryn's got other vices.
Oh, I'm aware. We had a nice long chat a few hours ago.
I thought I smelled just a hint of pussy in the air.
Guilty as charged, love. Though, I must say, I do respect Taran quite a bit. Her endless wanking is both a disability and an addiction latent in her own biology, all wrapped up into one serious fat problem she can never solve. Her resume is impressive on its own. When you consider what she's accomplished in spite of her issues and the technological limitations of her species, to me, she's quite admirable. Also, delicious.
Hello, Taryn. How you doing? Good. Right now, let's give you goals, maybe. Should you like that?
For me? For real? You're not trolling?
No, I'm not trolling. Ball of yarn. Do you like a ball of yarn?
Super sweet!
I have another one too. Here we go.
Super sweet!
Primitive trophy?
Well, this is awkward. Even more so than usual. Well, this is awkward. Even more so than usual. For me? For real? You're not trolling?
No, I'm not trolling at all. What else do you like here?
For me? For real? You're not trolling?
Oh, a fish?
Super sweet!
Okay, you do like fish. Okay, good to know.
well,
Nope.
this is awkward. Even more so than usual.
You don't like that one? It's fine. 2,000 minutes?
For me? For real? You're not trolling?
No, I'm not trolling. Here we go.
For me? For real? You're not trolling?
Trolling at all. Some fabric?
For me? For real? You're not trolling?
No, I'm not trolling. Oops.
For me? For real?
Yes.
You're not trolling?
A beer stain, maybe?
For me? For real? You're not trolling?
The metal.
For
Did a
me?
good job.
For real? You're not trolling?
Blood. Medicinal word.
For me? For real? You're not trolling? For me? For real? You're not trolling?
I'm not trolling at all. Don't worry about a thing. Alright, let's talk to... Before we stop, let's talk...
You want to know about my fap routine? Are we talking the amount of sessions in general, or how many times I come in a day? I don't keep exact numbers because, frankly, with my inclinations, it's not really even possible in the first place. But I tend to roll with a 5-to-1 ratio.
I'm going to have to ask for a finger sniff verification.
Go right ahead. You're welcome to lick them, too. To be honest, this is really weird for me. I'm only used to being with other girls. You're the only exception I make, or have ever made, for that matter. I certainly had the chance, but I just wasn't into those guys enough to go for it, I guess. That changed in a big way when I met you.
You know what? I'm proud I could be the tour guide for your first trip up Mount Cock.
Same here, Captain. Oh, wow. That really didn't work, did it?
How long were you on my ship before we met?
Oh, it's tough to say. I was working so hard that I kind of, lost track of time.
And how many times did you sneak into my quarters?
It was just that once. Honestly, I tried so hard to avoid that part of the ship because, well, I knew what would happen. But there was this loose paneling I was worried about right next to your windows. So one thing kind of led to another, and here we are. But hey, at least I inspected the paneling first. It passed Galactic spacefaring safety regulations, by the way.
You know, you told me why you left your planet, but not how you got off it.
Well, how I got off it goes back to how I got off on it. You remember I told you about finding that vibrator, right? I kind of, stole it from a tourist.
You swiped a lady's box buzzer? That's uncalled for.
Captain, I don't think you understand how things work on my planet. We don't have stealing there. Everything is basically community property. You just take what you want when you want it. Simple.
But don't you guys have stuff that's valuable? Or something that's important to you?
Of course we do. But with something like that, it's your responsibility to keep your eyes on it. Oh, for example, one of my 29 brothers had this stone axe he really liked. This fat dude that lived next to us kept taking it to cut wood. My bro hated having to walk all the way over there every time he needed it back, so he started fucking the guy's wife.
How exactly did that solve the situation?
I mean, after the 5th time, the guy got the message. Take my axe, I fuck your wife. Pretty simple. He didn't like the sight of this handsome, young, and hung dude dicking down his missus, so he made his own axe.
Wait, are you saying even married ladies are community property on your planet?
No, Captain. That would be incredibly sexist. Everyone fucks whoever they want. Anyways, you're getting me off track. Okay, so getting back to the tourism stuff. Most people that came to our planet just wanted to see the sights, but we get a lot of merchants as well.
If your people aren't that interested in technology, what kind of stuff did they import?
Solar cock, obviously. The gigolo business was insane back home. Plus, a lot of guys that came to my planet were just giving dick away.
I don't think I ever heard of reverse sex tourism before.
Well, you have now. Man, I remember entire ships full of solars arriving and creating these dick-feeding frenzies that went on for days. I stayed away for the most part due to the whole gash-gobbling thing, but one of the boys brought some toys with him. I was more interested in those, so I swiped the vibrator when I got a chance. I brought it home and just went fucking crazy with it. We're talking a 2-day marathon of masturbation, Captain. That was when I fell in love with technology. I knew I had to get off the planet and find more of these things.
Did you hop a ride on the shuttle then?
Actually, the guy the vibrator belonged to? Well, it's a long story. I'll tell you some other time.
Oh, that was pretty cool. And that's it for now, for the Terran update. We completed all of the Kraken system. We'll continue this next time on. Subverse.